y'all, and welcome to the 27th episode of the Yarn Junkie podcast. My name is Amber, and if this is your first time joining me, thanks so much for taking the time to check me out. And if you're a subscriber, thanks for coming back, guys. I have quite a bit to show you guys today. I've got some finished objects, and some whips, and some mail from all of you lovely people. So I will jump right in and get started. Like I said, this is the Yarn Junkie podcast. I am a knitter, crocheter, spinner, all-around yarn obsessed type of person. If I get distracted and look out the window, I'm sorry. Totally sorry. First, I want to talk about my knit-along that's coming up. Last episode, I talked about the Sweater Co. just released a sock pattern called the Fine and Dandy Socks. It's a really gorgeous textured stitch pattern. Go check it out if you haven't already. The pattern is only $1, you guys, $1 Australian, so it's 70-something cents US. So Jacqueline of the Brooklyn Knit Folks podcast and I are hosting a knit-along for the Fine and Dandy Socks. And Jacqueline actually already has a hashtag, Fine and Dandy Cal. And like I said, it's a pattern by the Sweater Co. You can find Jess as the Sweater Co. on Ravelry and Instagram. And she also has an audio podcast, which I just found this past week. Love listening to her. She's an Australian, so you guys know I love accents. And she's just been a really pleasant person to chat with. I plan to give away 5 copies of the pattern. So if you haven't joined my Ravelry group, it's the Yarn Junkie podcast. There will be a thread with a prompt, and I will choose 5 winners from that, and I'll announce that next episode, next week. Last episode, I said we would cast on April 1st. I'm going to change that to a St. Patrick's Day cast on. So March 17th, buy your pattern, pick your yarn. My yarn is going to be from Laura of The Fawn and the Fox. I don't have it yet, but it's coming. I'm so excited. I got a kit from her. Laura actually test knit the pattern for the Sweater Co. And she's been dyeing yarn, and she has the most perfect springtime green to go with these Fine and Dandy socks. And the Fine and Dandy socks, the little textured pattern looks like a dandelion. So really, really springtime, super cute sock pattern. And I know there's a million of cows going on right now, guys, but it's a sock whip. Come on, cast on a sock with us. I'm really excited to be doing this knit along with Jacqueline, and I hope that y'all want to join. Like I said, the pattern is $1. I think Jacqueline is also giving away 3 copies of the pattern through her Instagram account, and she's at Jacqueline Salem, and again, of the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast. But yeah, so guys, I'm so excited to be doing my first co-hosted knit along, and I really hope that you guys like the pattern. And again, $1, oh my gosh, go buy the pattern. And it supports charity, which is just really cool of Jess to make all of her patterns available for so cheap. I love that. And she's a very talented designer, so I'm excited to be working with her. So, I've been pretty busy. I went to the dentist again. I don't know if I have mentioned, the dentist I'm going to is actually the School of Dentistry. So it's kind of a hassle because you have to go to so many appointments. Basically, the appointment that I went to this week, the student looks at your mouth, and then the professor comes and says, okay, what treatment would you do? And the student tells the professor, and the professor agrees. Basically, I went to the dentist Wednesday. I was there for 4 hours, and I got nothing done. I have another appointment Monday for my cleaning. But that being said, it's cheaper, and I feel like the students are more compassionate than private practice dentists I've been to. They're just younger and not as jaded by the industry. So they take their time, and they're just really compassionate. And if you have a school of dentistry near you, I highly recommend it. But it's also a hassle because I'm sick of driving to Dallas, 2 hours away, one way, just to go to the dentist every single week, basically. I have a lot of stuff that needs to be done. I have a couple of crowns that need to go on in here, and it's just, I won't bore you with that. But I did go to the dentist this week, and my mom's husband, if you don't know, I lost my mom in December. She was only 49, and it was just quite sudden, quite a shock. We actually got the autopsy results back for that this week, and she died of heart failure, which I didn't expect for it to hit me as hard as it did to have the finalization of how she died. But this early this week, it was really quite emotional for me. And so the mail that I got just cheered myself up. My husband actually also, if you follow me on Instagram, he made me a cake. He made me a cake with the girls the first part of the week. Like I said, I was just feeling bummed after getting my mom's autopsy results back, and he made a chocolate cake, got the girls art stencils, put a little heart on top of it since she died of heart failure. That was just really, really sweet. He's not always the most considerate person, and he's trying, and it makes my heart so happy. So my mom's husband called me and said that his mom had some knitting machines that she was getting rid of. She came across, she knew I was a knitter type of person, and wanted to give me these machines. So since I was going to be in Dallas, which is kind of far from where I live, but close to where my mom's husband lives, I told him that I would swing down and get those. I picked them up. I don't know jack about knitting machines. I'm actually going to create a thread in my group. I'm going to take pictures of them and post the model numbers. That way, if you guys know anything about it, maybe y'all could help me. Don't know. I Googled it, and it's still like way too much information. But something that I got with those knitting machines, kind of acquisitions, this super awesome ball winder, okay? I had it hooked up to the table, and Tim came home, and he was like, where'd this come from? And I told him, it came with the knitting machines, and he was like, this is legit. Like, we need to cake up some yarn. And so I gave him if you remember last week, I was complaining about one of my cakes for the exploration station being ugly. He recaked it on this, and he was like, this is insane. He's so happy to have a new ball winder. So that makes me happy too. Here's my old one. This is from Knit Picks, and I have a love-hate relationship with this thing. So it will work great half the time, and then the other half, my yarn gets caught under here, or it just slips over, or it just chunks it off. It's done that twice, like the ball just bounced off for no reason. So yeah, I have a very love-hate relationship with this, so much so that I've almost written a bad review. And I'm not a review writer, and I hate that thing so much, I've almost gone through the trouble of writing a bad review. So this is super cool to have, and it's older. I'm not sure what year it's from. Maybe the 80s, maybe the 90s, who knows. But I'm happy to have a new ball winder, and that was acquisitions that I didn't even have to pay for. So yay! And the knitting machines, like I said. While I was also at my mom's, I asked her husband if I could have the stuff that I've made her over the years back. And he was happy to let me go through her stuff and find the stuff that I've made her. So this hat is actually a crocheted hat. My hair's going to be a mess. That I made her for her birthday maybe a year ago. And she loves red. Red was her favorite color. This is actually Madeline Tosh DK in colorway Tart. And I crocheted this while watching True Blood with my husband. And it's like such a bloody color. I love it. It was the perfect thing to be working on while watching that series. And I just added some little flower buttons. And this is the Peacat. It's a free crochet pattern on Ravelry. And it's just a really nice textured stitch. And it's quite warm. And I get lots of compliments when I have a couple of different colors of the same style. And my mom really wanted one, so I made her this one. And I almost didn't want to give it to her when I was done with it because I loved it so much. And I mean, she wore it and wore it and wore it. And I was happy to give her something that she loves so much. I also got these back. These are pot holders that I made her for Mother's Day. And again, I mean, my mom's husband doesn't care about having flowery pot holders. So he had no problems with me taking these. And it's just an African flower motif, crocheted African flower. You can find this pattern everywhere. And then I just did, you know, some increases and doubled it and made little pot holders. She loved these. It's kind of bittersweet, I guess, to have these back. And yeah, they smell like smoke. My mom was a smoker, so all of this stuff from her house smells like smoke. But so I got those things back and visited with him a little bit, and it was nice to chat with him, but still, it's really hard to go to my mom's house. I mean, as you can imagine, I miss my mom. She was my buddy. She was the person I called about everything, and just to have the autopsy results back, I mean, it just, like I said, it hit me a lot harder than I expected it to. But we will continue talking about FOs. I don't want to bring you guys down. So I finished my ease. This is the ease by Alicia Plummer, and I use the term ease lightly because there's no ease. It's supposed to have 3 to 4 inches of positive ease, but again, I'm a loose knitter, so I size down my needles severely, and I knit the size small. I alternated skeins. The yarn I used is Malabrigo Rios in colorway Ivy. And the pattern said to buy, I think at like 1,000 yards. I want to say that's what it said. I only used 4 balls. This is the 4th, and this is what I have left over. The only thing I'm kind of unhappy about, and I'm actually thinking about going back, is I wish I would have made it longer. Now, I am a very tall person. I'm 5'10", and you know, I have long, lanky arms, long legs, long torso, just long. And I know when I go to stores and buy things, I always wish they were an inch longer. So why I didn't knit this an inch longer than the pattern asked, I don't know, because I was in a hurry to get to the ribbing. But what's cool is I used alternating skeins, so basically there's like a lifeline in each row, and I can just go back and add in probably the rest of this. We'll make it, you know, because it's just, it goes right to the top of my pants. And I wish that it was just like a little bit longer, about like that. And it's not. I mean, it sits about right there. Overall, guys, I am so super impressed and happy with this. I posted a picture to my Facebook, and my family and friends are just obsessed with it. And they're like, it looks store-bought, and it does. That's probably a really good, accurate color representation. Ivy, just a really springtime green. And Tim loves it. He keeps walking by and petting me. And he's like, this is so nice. This is so nice. And I agree. I am so proud of this, guys. My first knit sweater. I'm already ready to cast on for my second. I'm going to do the Featherweight Cardigan by Hannah Fettig. Like, I'm so ready that it's already in a project bag. I've already got my yarn caked up. I still need to buy the pattern. I'm going to buy it through Custom Fit so I can custom fit it. That was actually recommended to me by a friend, and I finally took the time to figure out the website this week, and I'm almost to the point where I'm about to swatch and decide what I need to do. So this colorway, this is Madeline Tosh. It's not showing up very well. In colorway Cactus Flower. And it's just this really kind of tonal pink with some orange flashes. I think that will be really pretty. And what I thought about doing is I have this Hedgehog Fibers sock yarn, and I just thought it might be an awesome thing to do the collar and the cuffs in this variegated. But I don't know that I'll do that. I'm still undecided as of yet. But I'm so ready to cast on my next sweater after getting done with this one and loving it. I did do the open neck collar, and I love it, guys. Oh gosh, it's so soft and warm and beautiful, and I'll shut up about it because I could seriously talk about it. I'm gonna take a drink. But like I said, I have a whole nother ball. And my friend Marcia said I could make a hat. But I think what I'll do with this is make an Ed's Animal. They have a dinosaur pattern. Isn't that dinosaur? For sure. So this will probably be a fun dinosaur, and this will be added link to my sweater. I've definitely decided I'm going to go back. Why not? If I can make it, why not go back and add the link? So I also finished my crocheted rug. And Jody of the Grocery Girls podcast, she's a crocheter. And are you kidding me, guys? Total fangirl moment, because they were talking about me being a crocheter, my podcast. I totally had an obsessed fangirl moment that Jody crochets. And I just think that's so cool. And now I'm going to have to always have a crochet project. So I didn't end up doing the last couple of rows. Remember last week I was telling you they were giving me fits. They wanted me to have a stitch where I didn't have a stitch. So I just winged the last couple of rows, did what I thought would look good. And this, the edging, is actually a reverse single crochet. I think it's also called the crab stitch. And the pattern didn't ask for that, but I love the edging it gives on this rug. I just think it makes it look really nice, and it lays a lot nicer. So it's on the ground now, and the dogs lay on it. So yeah, my crocheted rug. I do wish it was a little bit bigger, but I didn't have that much yarn, so I did what I could, and I'm happy with it. But I'm going to stop it right here for just a second, and I'll be right back. Okay, so whips. I have a couple of works in progress to show you guys. My first one is in my awesome Vincent Van Gogh project bag by The Cozy Crafter. She's got an Etsy shop. I love this fabric so much, and Atrella made me this little flower. I've showed that before. But in here, I have something exciting. So, Katie, gotta get it right. So in the South, you know, we're bad about our accents, and all my T's and D's are used intermittently, and Sue of the Legacy Knits podcast has everyone in the world pronouncing KT's name properly, because KT mentioned how lots of Americans will say Katie, and I'm guilty, totally guilty. Katie. No, it's KT. KT of the Inside Number 23 podcast is hosting a Harry Potter knit-along. You guys know I love Harry Potter. Just had an epic 10th birthday Harry Potter party for my 10-year-old. We actually plan to take her to Harry Potter World for her 11th birthday. We're gonna tie plane tickets to an owl balloon. It's gonna be really exciting. So you know how to do a Harry Potter knit-along. Come on, I have to do all the knit-alongs, especially if they're Harry Potter related. So KT is it's a really loose knit-along, knit anything that you think can be Harry Potter themed. I showed you yarn last week that I got in a swap that I love that was blue and bronze or gold. And I asked if that was Ravenclaw's colors, because I'm a Ravenclaw, Team Ravenclaw, woo! My husband's Slytherin. Atrella, the 10-year-old, she is Gryffindor. And Prudence, she changes, she's 5. Her house changes based on her answers that day. So she's been a Gryffindor, she's been a Slytherin, and she's been a Ravenclaw. No Hufflepuffs in this family. So I decided I have had this pattern, the Daybreak by Stephen West. I bought this pattern probably a month after I started knitting, over a year ago. A lady at my knit night group was knitting it, and I just fell in love and decided I had to knit it. Bought the pattern, and I've been sitting on it since, because I didn't know what yarn I wanted to use. And then looking through all the project pages, there it is again, I found someone had knit this in blue and yellow, and it looked like a rising sun. I'm fairly obsessed with taking pictures of the sunset, sunrise. I live on the lake. I'm not, a photographer, but I enjoy taking pictures just for smiles and whatever. So I decided I had to knit this. This yarn was actually left over from my 3-color cashmere cowl that wasn't cashmere. This is Madeline Tosh Merino Light in colorway Daffodil, sorry. And it's just a singles, and I normally don't really like singles. But I had this yarn, and it's enough yardage, I think, to be able to do this. Here I am right now, not very far along. It's basically a Barbie shawl at this point. But I really love this color. And I actually have a sweater's quantity worth of this to knit the vitamin D cardigan, because I love this color. And a couple of weeks ago, if you don't know, my dad actually lost his house in a tornado right after Christmas. And I was out at his house helping him do some cleanup, and we came across my grandmother's fur coat. And it had to be cleaned, of course. It went through a tornado. And the place my dad wanted me to take it was in far north Dallas, to an area I hadn't really been before. And what do you do when you're going to a new area? One looks up yarn stores that one hasn't been to, right? Is it just me? No, I didn't think so. So I had to go check out this yarn store that was really close to where I was going to drop off this coat. And it's called Yarn and Stitches. And like I said, it's in North Dallas, and it's a really nice shop. They have quite a bit of a selection in there. It's kind of cramped. I don't really like when a yarn store is there's so much yarn it feels overwhelming to me because there's too much selection at that point, and I'm just like, what do I look at? So it was kind of overwhelming, but in a good way, because they just had a lot of different brands and selections of yarn. So I went in there just to check it out, but of course I bought something. I bought this gorgeous, it's called Midnight Derby, and it is Dream in Color Smushy with Cashmere. And it's just this gorgeous, that is showing up really well. It's a gorgeous navy color. And yeah, my Daybreak, Ravenclaw Daybreak, guys. I'm so excited. This is what I had in my head when I wanted to knit the Daybreak. A rising sun on a dark background. So I did have some yarn that was more this color. It's still in the stash that I was going to do with this, and I'm glad that I never got around to doing that because I really, really like this dark color. That's just perfect. And I'm loving knitting this so far. It's just really potato chippy. I think that it will go super quick. And yeah, I couldn't pass up a Harry Potter knit along. There's just no way. And that's all I have to say about that project. In my bag. Love it. So I did get some mail this week, which I'll talk about as I talk about the whips that is being contained by them. So first I want to talk about, I did a podcaster Valentine's Day swap. Melissa of the Spicy Homemaker podcast organized a podcaster swap. So she contacted a bunch of us podcasters and tried to pair us with people that she didn't see that we had interaction with or that we didn't talk a lot with. And I got paired with Shara of What Shara Made podcast, and I'd not checked out her podcast. I am so glad I got paired with her. She's amazing. Go check out her podcast. She knits incredible things. She's a very seasoned knitter. Knits like the wind. Her project turnaround is very fast, and she's very inspirational. She's got a gorgeous, bright, sunny home. She lives down in Australia. Did I say that? Maybe not. But yeah, I love her accent. I love the things she makes. I love her energy, and she's just been such a kind, gracious person to be chatting with online. And I got her swap package this week. I was way, way delayed in sending mine. So Shara, I hope you get it, and I hope it's there soon. And I'm sorry. Again, with all of the dental trips that I've been taking, I was delayed on some swap packages I needed to get out. So if you were one of the ones that I was delayed in, you have my sincere apologies, guys. So first, I'm going to talk about, guys, I'm not a tea person, okay? I mean, I drink tea and I like tea, but I'm not like, oh my God, this tea. Oh my God, this tea. This is what Shara sent me. It's Chili Berry Boom. Let me read it to you. Be your own hero with this action-packed brew. Its strawberry sweet guys will turn on the charm before exploding with a fiery kick. Kapow! It was so, so, so good. I had it the other night after supper, and it just, it's so aptly described, because it's just this really sweet strawberry with this chili kick. And I live in Texas, okay, so I love spicy. And this was so good. I can still smell it, and I want another one. Shara, if I can't find this online, I'm thinking we're gonna have to do another swap so I can get some more of this delicious tea. Amazing. And like I said, guys, I'm not like a gaga tea person. But now saying that, I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. Shara also sent me enough chocolates for the whole family. The girls already ate some of them and they loved them. Little pears. And she sent me this mini. And on the card it says that it's 75% merino, 25% nylon, hand-dyed by me, and she made her friend a pair of socks for Christmas. And I love the little card. I think she probably made it. Isn't that cute? And it's just really pretty. Super squishy. And she dyed me, it says, 75% Australian merino, 25% nylon, hand-dyed by me especially for you. I hope this yarn inspires you. XO Shara. And it's got greens and purples. You guys know these are my colors. And I'm so excited to have this. It's so squishy, like super squishy and soft. And Atrella was super excited to have Australian merino. So thank you, Shara. Thank you so much. I loved it. She also sent me something else that I'll show you in a minute because it's on another acquisition or mail. It is acquisitions, but I didn't buy it because my friends are amazing, amazing, amazing. I'll just show y'all that now. So Jody, again, of the Grocery Girls podcast, Tracy and Jody, actually put those socks up there because Jody made the pencil socks too. I made these socks last September. Sarah of the Love Sockable podcast hosted a back to school sock cal, and she enabled me to buy this yarn from Yarn Enabler, and she dyes the yarn. If you're a toe-up knitter or a cuff-down knitter, she dyes the yarn based on how you knit. And I love those pencil socks, and Jody knit them. And so I had to put those up there so we could be twins, and I just love them. I just love them. Jody also recently came out with a new bag line. So if you haven't seen it, if you live under a rock, she came out with the Andy bag, which is named after Andy of the Andre Sue Knits podcast. But this bag, you guys, it was cute, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cute, and I commented on her Instagram to tell her that I liked it. But then when I found out like how it came to be, I'm in love with that bag now, and I need to get myself an Andy bag. So Jody knit a swatch of Malabrico yarn. Then she took a photo of that swatch, sent it to a fabric customization place, and got fabric based on the photo of the swatch she took, and then sewed bags. That's a piece of art, okay? I mean, to go through all of that work and trouble to create this end product amazes me. And I love her, and I want to support her. You guys should go check out her bags. They're so well made. So I commented on her Instagram, one of her bags, to say that I really liked it, but that I had another favorited for a bit, and that I needed to get around to buying it. And she said, well, just send me your address and I'll send it to you. I messaged her and I was like, no. I was not saying that to get a freebie. Please, please, please. I would be happy to buy one of your bags. You do not have to send me anything. And she said that she knew that. She just wanted to. Because Jody's amazing and Tracy's amazing. And if you don't watch the Grocery Girls, what are you doing with your life? Go check them out. They're hilarious. I sit there with a stupid smile on my face the entire time I watch them. And yeah, I just love them. So Jody sent me this, guys. I have had this favorited. I think you know why. I love animals. I've got my chickens, and I need some more barn animals, and it's a freaking yarn barn. Are you kidding me? I love it. Her tags are really cool. It says whimsical totes, whimsical yarn totes. And it's got little stars, and on the back it says Miss Brown's bags. And I love this bag. I've had this favorited because it's got a black bottom and dark red, so it's not going to show dirt. I've got 3 dogs. I live in the country. It's dirty. We get dirty, and it stresses me out when my bags look dirty. And this one, it won't. And it's so well made, you guys. I just love it. I love her little leather zipper pull. Eric from the 6 Plus Twine podcast said she should patent that, and I agree. And it's got this little ribbon tag where you can clip a handle to it. And this heart actually was also from Shara. And I had to put it on my bag, all my pod love together, my podcaster love, my bag from Jody, my heart from Shara. So in my project bag of awesomeness, I mean, seriously, guys, this bag is huge. I have my exploration station, and I use that WHIP term very loosely because it's just my yarn. If you follow me on Instagram, _yarnjunkie, you'll see that Brioche has not been very kind to me, and I still need to figure it out. But in here, I have got 4 balls of yarn. So there's 2 there, and then there's 2. It's huge. I mean, the bag is huge, and this is her sweater size. But also, Jody, awesome that you are. It was so lovely packed. It was packaged like a little present. It was wrapped. This was around it. I love that key. It's just so cute. And this is so hilarious. You know what this is? A scratch and sniff sticker. Scratch and sniff sticker. I haven't seen these since I was like in elementary school. Where'd you get these, Jody? Because my girls need some. Scratch and sniff. I wish you guys could smell it. And it's got a mini with a little maple candy. I love that. And her card's in there. Jody, girl, thank you so much. Seriously. This bag, I love it. I will treasure it. And I have my exploration station in there. Eric from the 6 Plus Twine podcast is hosting a cal for the exploration station. It's kicked off March 1st, and I want to say it goes through May, but go to his podcast group to figure out the ins and outs of that. And Michelle of the Naughty Knit Books podcast totally called me out because I was working on my Daybreak, my Harry Potter knit along, and she was like, "Have you cast on your exploration station yet?" No, Michelle, I haven't. Thanks for calling me out, girlfriend. Seriously, don't do that to me. What else did I get, you guys? I got an awesome package from my friend on Instagram named Yarn Friendly. She actually also has an Etsy shop under the same name, Yarn Friendly. And I think she's Yarn Friendly on Ravelry, I want to say too. Hi, Sally. So Sally put out a call for minis. She was starting her Cozy Memories blanket and needed some minis. And I had some extras, and I said, send me your address, I'd be glad to send you some minis. And she said, well, let me send you a bag from my shop. And I told her, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Guys, fiber friends are the most generous, kind, incredible people you will ever meet in your life. She said, I want to send you a bag. You're sending me minis. Let me send you a bag. And I was like, okay, fine. That's fine. Sent her off my minis, and she sent me a bag, but also Canadian chocolate that I haven't even eaten yet. Are you guys proud of me? Cannot wait. This, again, guys, I'm not a tea person. She sent me 3 of these Santa's Secret David's tea. It should be called Christmas Crack, okay? This is so good. She sent me 3, like I said. I had one the day I got the package, and immediately after having that one, I went out and got the other one and had it as soon as I drank the first one. I drank a second one. And again, I'm not like an obsessed tea person. It was that good. And then I couldn't wait. I had this other one the other day. I couldn't wait. And she said that this is something that they only do at Christmas time, obviously, Santa's Secret. And I've never heard of David's tea until I started watching podcasts. So I guess it's a Canadian, maybe a Northern America thing. But yeah, Christmas crack. Need some more of this in my life. She said we'll do another swap closer to Christmas. And I'm excited to do that. So the bag she sent me, I mentioned I love taking pictures. I'm not a photographer. I just like taking pictures. But she sent me this bag. It's got cameras on it. And the little zipper pull has a camera. Isn't that cute? I've got my little button from Carlene on there. And the inside fabric is really funky, and I love that color. That's like such a fun color. Green, I love green. Green, 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 green. I could just love green all day long. So in this awesome camera bag, I have a sock whip. Let's get some sock talk going on. I was so excited that Tracy talked about me messaging her and coming up with a hashtag for her sock talk. If you don't watch The Grocery Girls, Tracy does this hilarious Boston impression when she talks about her socks. And you guys know I've always got a sock whip going. So I've had this yarn in my stash since September, since I went to Stitches, Texas. And I've been hoarding it because you can't buy this yarn online. So mustache yarn, and this is the OCD self-striping, and it's 2 perfectly matched skeins of yarn. So Stacy of Mustache Sheep, she's a Texas lady, which I love because that means she's at the Texas festivals and I can actually get her yarn because you can't order it online. She sells out unless you've got super great internet connection and, you know, you're just one of those lucky people that can score. I can never score on popular yarn companies. Yeah, like Wool and Vine, I never get the updates on what I want. So I was happy to get this yarn at Stitches last September, and DFW Fiber Fest is coming up. It is the first weekend of April, so if you're going, message me. I've actually had 2 podcasters contact me to say that they're going to come, and I'm going to meet them. I'm so excited. Robin of the Stitching Between Pages podcast and Brittany of Sip and Stitch podcast are going to DFW Fiber Fest, and we're going to meet. And if you're going, I'd love to meet you. If you see me, come up and say hi. I'm definitely going to go. I'm hoping Stacy of Mustache will be there so I can get some more yarn. But I've been knitting her Dark Side EPV yarn. And like I said, this is self-striping OCD. So Stacy takes the time to dye this. I mean, it matches up perfectly, and you don't have to do anything. It just matches. So if you're a sock knitter and you are dyeing, and actually Tracy knit these too. She had these in her last, like, opening thing. Tracy, sock talk. Sorry, I was fangirling, but I'm obsessed with these socks. I'm so glad that I was working on these. And this is actually the whip that I took to the dentist. And I was here where I have my little Cat's Kettle Progress Keeper. I miss Katrina. She used to podcast, but her daughter stopped napping. I know those feels. I had a non-napper too. But she's got an Etsy shop. She sells stitch markers and project bags and yarn. And I like to have that so I can think of my friend Kat. But this yarn is just so much fun. I was here at the dentist. When I went to the dentist, I was here. And I was just knitting, 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 knitting. And one of the professors came over and saw me, and he goes, "Oh, you're a knitter type of person." And I said, "Yes, I am." And he said, "Well, my wife's a knitter type of person too, but I've never seen needles that small, and what's that thing on your needles?" And I explained that these were circulars, and he said his wife just had sticks, and she makes giant things. I don't really know what she does. That comment kind of made me sad. My husband loves that I knit. He loves that I knit him things, the girls things, me things. He loves that I work with yarn. And he'll wear hats that I make, socks that I make. It doesn't matter. He loves it. Here's Lucy. Lucy, my co-host, my Mastiff. my massive mastiff. We also call her Eeyore because as soon as you put a camera on her, she just hangs her head and looks like a pathetic person. She's very unphotogenic. But I'm not going to pet her. Maybe she'll go away. No, Lucy, no. I'm talking about my socks right now. So the dentist was impressed with my sock knitting, and he wanted to know about my needles. And I explained that they were circular, and he chatted with me about that. But it just, you know, him not knowing enough about his wife's hobby, if it's something that she does all the time, I'm grateful, I guess is what I want to say. I'm grateful that my husband cares enough to listen to me ramble on about yarn all the time. And then I had, two other people while I was at the dentist all day come up to me and talk to me, and the student that was working on me made the comment, he's like, "It's like you're a unicorn." And I was like, it does feel that way sometimes. I never knew that people didn't knit in public. I thought if you were a crocheter or a knitter, it's just something that you did, because why wouldn't you take your project along? You can, just do it. So I never understood like knitting in public. It's just something I've always done. But I explained to my student that was working on me that we call non-knitters muggles, and he just thought that was hilarious. And I love chatting with people. People ask me if I'm crocheting when I'm knitting. They ask me if I'm knitting when I'm crocheting. I always correct them. I'm always like, well, it's this, but I can do both. And they're always super impressed when I tell them I spin yarn too. So they're like Rumpelstiltskin? Sure, like Rumpelstiltskin. But yeah, I got some awesome new bags from some friends. I also got from a viewer, Sonia. So sweet. She messaged me and said that she just wanted to send me some love from New Mexico. And I told her that was totally unnecessary, and she just wanted to send me something. And she totally spoiled me, you guys. She sent me this awesome bag, super springtime. I think this will actually be my project bag for my featherweight cowl, because not featherweight cowl, it's not a cowl, just my featherweight. Though I think Mina's knitting it right now. I think there's a lot of people knitting the featherweight. There's always people knitting the featherweight. But this bag is so cute, and she said that her daughter made it. I just love that. It's very well made, and it's got this little zipper, really blingy zipper pull. You guys know that I love that. She sent me some fiber. And this is actually a Batty Bat from Vortex Yarn Felt and Fiber. And when I went to New Mexico, they're from Taos, New Mexico. The yarn that I picked up is actually Vortex. And this is a blend of wool, mohair, alpaca, sparkle, silk threads. I'm dying to spin this. I need to get the other off my wheel so I can do this. Thank you, Sonia. I love it. It's really gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. She also sent me this skein of self-striping sock yarn from Woolly Wonka, and it's a superwash merino cashmere nylon 80-10-10, and the colorway is called Santa Fe, and it's got these gorgeous coppers, blue. Oh, I love this. I'm dying to cast on some socks with this. It's so soft and squishy. She also sent me this gradient. Atrella gasped when she saw this, and she wants a shawl out of it. She's got really porcelain skin and ice blue eyes. This colorway, it's a gradient skein, 75% superwash wool, 20% silk, 5% glitter, 435 yards, in colorway Nazoo, and it's also from Woolly Wonka. Really like that. That's just so pretty. She sent me a lovely note. And I loved her stationery. It's got like little, I love stationery. Polka dots. Some awesome hand foot balm. It smells like essential oils, tea tree, and peppermint. I love it. I love that smell. And then, this is funny, DPN protectors, or ends, because you guys, I stabbed myself with my DPNs, if you didn't know, and I just think it's hilarious every time someone sends me some protectors, so I don't stab myself. Thank you, Sonia. I love these little sheep. This bag is so gorgeous. I love the inside fabric. and the yarn. You guys, I've made such great friends doing my podcast and through my Ravelry and my Instagram. I love you guys, and if you ever have any questions about something I've showed or something I'm working on, just PM me. I'm really responsive. I don't do show notes, sorry, not sorry, but I'm super responsive, and I will chat with you all day long about yarn and fiber and everything knitting and spinning and crochet related. So I want to say that's it. I'm going to check my notes like I do, so I know I'm not forgetting anything. Oh yeah, I showed you guys everything. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope that you had some fun working on your projects, sipping your tea or your coffee, and come check out the group. Join the Ravelry thread for the Fine and Dandy Cal. I'm going to go post that right now. Hopefully we can give some pattern giveaways. But again, the pattern's $1 for the Fine and Dandy socks, so go buy it. Go buy it and cast on some socks. Cast on dates March 17th. If you want to cast on before that, I'm not going to slap your wrist about it. Let's just knit along. I'm a slow knitter. If you're worried about doing a pattern sock, I don't do a lot of pattern socks, guys, and I'm a slow knitter too. Let's just knit along and have some fun. No pressure. No big deal. We can knit socks. I'm making sure I've said everything because I feel like I haven't. But I have. And guys, thanks so much for joining me week after week. I hope y'all have some happy crafting. See you later.